It's a pleasure to be an honor for me to be in front of you all. And well, let me say it like this: I'm a speaking product. I'm a speaking product with a good side and maybe a not so good side.
Perfect.
But it is interesting to me to hear all about this, because this is, let me say, a part of my life. And I was brought up in a very normal family. And I was also educated in my region that my party, me as a young person, never can win a race we had in this constituency. And I say this and I'm very focused on this because of one thing: if you are young, you're always in a connection to the cliche, okay, this will not happen, this cannot happen, and you will not fulfill everything what is expected about yourself. But I was very happy to have good friends like Hendrik and Philip, which helped me to create a campaign which fulfilled the expectation of the people. And by the way, Philip and me, we decided here in Kiev to run for politics. This is a funny story. It was in the cafeteria next to the Krishatek, and it was very interesting also for us now to be again here, because so a small circle is closed now a little bit. I want to do two things. I want to focus first what it means to be a politician, let me say, in disruptive times. And before I do this, I want to be a little bit more in detail about my person, about my curriculum vitae. My name is Mettzler, I'm 37 years old. I'm now, for the last 5 years, member of the German Parliament. I was brought up in a very normal family. My mom is a housewife. My daddy is a wine grower. So it was in the tradition of my family also to be a wine grower after. By the way, I'm the only wine grower in the German Parliament, and we have jobs which are much more focused there, like lawyers, teachers, and so on. I'm the only wine grower there. I studied economics. And later on I was responsible for 148 partner universities worldwide for the German exchange program. And by the way, there I learned that it never was like this, that the world was so connected like now. You grew up in a completely different world. I was brought up. I was born in the year of 1981, and the first portable phone I ever saw in my life was big as a car battery. Big as a car battery. And now you have the following thing. You have the completely world in your hand. Completely. But this also changed completely the aspect to run, to create a candidature or to run for parliament, to be a politician. What I mean by disruptive times. Do you know how old is this? I mean, not physically, but in general, the smartphone. How old? 10 years. 9. But this changed the world completely. If I wasn't know about something at home, my uncle liked it always to ask us, do you know this? Do you know this? And if we do not know this, he was looking for the so-called in Germany Brockhaus Encyclopedia, which is a number of books, in total 40. You had to pay in the past for this around about 1,500 D-Mark, because it's a long time ago. And you had to focus on that what you asked for. Today, you have the completely knowledge of the whole world in your hands, if you want, and you can be connected to this knowledge by your agreement you have with the telecommunication agency. That means also that information is provided completely different. But it also means that an unknown person can be in contact with many people in a very easy way. I'm very impressed all the time that a lot of Instagram stars are better known as regular stars. It is fascinating how you can connect yourself with all the world if you want. You can create friendship with all the world, you can date all over the world if you want, and you can run a campaign, very focused, also in the political aspects, which has one also in my constituency. In my constituency I have 240,000 bosses. I am a serviceman for 240,000 people there. And for sure I am not connected to everyone there all the time. But modern technique gave me and give me the possibility to do this. To be in focus, to everyone. Should we look now a little bit more like, okay, make a nice picture to him, okay? So wave a little bit with hands or something like this.
Sorry, I'm a picture guy. Tackle you.
So, everyone feels perfect on the picture, hopefully. Back to the thing with the campaign. I mean, the first thing what we not had was money. We had no money to create a big campaign. And we had, secondly, not the promotion and, let me say, also the support by a big network. And this pass is a result, for example, by all of this. This pass, by the way, was built in the year of 1973, much older than me. But at the far end, we also used the possibilities we had. And what I make sure to you is one thing. Whatever people tell you about yourself, follow in your ambition, your vision, and that's what you want to do. I was never interested in the easy things in life. I was always interested in the difficult things in life. Because if you run this, the outcome is unbelievable. I was a small intern, 14 years old, first time in Berlin. And there's a wall, there's a glass wall. And there's written on this glass wall, you can only enter if you're a member of the parliament or if you're a serviceman of the parliament. And I never believed that I have the allowance to enter this room, to enter this parliament. Besides the thing that we had the constituency which was never won by my party. Never. Never ever before. And to solve this, this was only possible because of that I had a guy like Hendrik, that I had a support by Philip, and to create a campaign on a, let me say, low budget segment, to be focused, to transport my idea, to transport my personality to the people in my constituency. And I was very happy also to see now all this campaign into the last minutes again. Now, I also tried to give you last time a small overview what I done for the last 5 years. I'm a member of the Committee for Foreign Affairs, and I'm a member of the Committee for Energy and Economy. I'm responsible there as a reporter for artificial intelligence, by the way. And the last thing I want to make sure with you together is, you are younger than me, obviously, and you are completely educated as digital natives. And if you will create some campaigns in future, it's completely based on this. And it will be completely different to today. And to know this also means that we have today platforms we never had before. I was not grew up with Facebook, but you completely grew up with Facebook. One of you use Facebook. So, and now you're next generation, you are focused on Instagram. Oh, Snapchat. Who is using Snapchat? Yeah? So, you can see, I was not educated as a digital native. I had to jump into Facebook, and you're a completely different generation. You jump into Snapchat, Facebook, etc. Or is there something different? What do you use else? Twitter? Yeah, okay, for example, Twitter. We also use Twitter. But what? Oh, perfect. So, but every one of you is also a trend scout. And also to give you an impression of the development, what it means to be in a disruptive time, you have to know one thing. What we, at the moment, what every one of us recognize is that we have an exponential time. Every 2 years, the capacity of all database is doubled all over the world. This is like to have a sheet of paper and to nick it in the middle and do it like this. And you do it, and you do it, and you do it. And you can build a tower like high to the moon. But how many weeks do you need to build a tower from Earth to moon? Who is good in mathematics? 48. And why? It's an exponential system. And this is the whole development of the world at the moment. By technical development and by the thing of globalization and so on. And you grow up in all of this. And let me add one thing. What we already know in Germany is that we have societies which are, let me say, a little bit frustrated to be a part of this development. Especially older people think, oh, it's ongoing too fast. And to be back in this situation, I explain it in other words. It's like a popcorn effect. You know what it means? Who one of you is eating popcorn? Yeah? Okay, you know, you bring in corn, yeah? And you put it on, and a long time there's nothing. And at a single moment, there is an explosion. One explosion after another will stimulate each other, and the whole bowl is full after. And at a moment, we reach, as a globalized world, as a digitalized world, this moment, where one explosion affects another one. And I only try to figure out this thing, this point, to explain what it means to be active as a marketing, a PR agent in the 21st century. You must be fast, you must be focused on trends, you must be the one which can feel also the world like it is. We are not furthermore like a big global, we are more like a small village. And let me add one last thing. I said that a lot of people at the moment are frustrated. We have a lot of frustrated societies because this movement is ongoing very fast. And future is not going on always straight. Future is always also doing a turn left or turn right. You need two things, and this is the thing I really wish to you all. You must be motivated enough to walk, also if you cannot see what's behind the corner, left or right. And the second thing, you must be brave enough. And I really wish you that you follow in such a completely different world in your dreams, that every one of you knows that you are a generation with possibilities no one had before, starting by the knowledge you can use every time by your cell phone, for example, and you are an integrated part of a globalized society. Last sentence. As a politician, I every day have to think about two things. To be a part of a problem or to be a part of a solution. And I want to motivate you to be a part of solution. To create this society also in a stabilized form, because 50% of all of politics, of economy, of everything is pure psychology. And you create this psychology by marketing instruments, by PR, You create this. And today we live always in like echo chambers. Echo chambers mean a lot of people going back in this cocoon and want to stay there, let me say, forever. And the normal PR by the news or whatever cannot enter this cocoon. And because of this we have results, for example, like Trump and others. So, be a part of the solution and be a part of this global community and do your part of the solution. I have to say thank you very much. I hope it was not too, let me say, unmotivated, but if I can figure out also after some points in the bilateral way, I'm very interested in your point of view. Thank you very much for listening.
Any questions?
Yeah, questions? Sure.
There are questions for you.
Yeah, for all of us.
Hello, thank you for your presentation.
Guys, quiet a little bit, please.
Thank you for your presentation.
Do you have any questions? No questions. Okay.
I know this. But give him a chance, okay? For 2 minutes, yeah?
Okay, thanks. Thank you for your presentation. It will be good if I ask question in German language because my first foreign language is German, but I can explain in English also, but it would be difficult for me. Erste Frage, meine ist die innere Politik. Die AfD hat 30% und wie schätzen Sie die innere Politik von Deutschland? Hat eine Zukunft AfD-Partei, weil ich habe Angst davor. Und die zweite Frage ist, ich komme aus Georgien und wenn Sie wissen, gegen Russland, wir und Ukraine haben ein Problem. Und welche Möglichkeiten haben wir, diese Konflikte zu lösen? Weil wir haben keine Militäre, wir sind in schwache Länder und was sagen Sie? Sie sind ein Mitglied von Bundestag und was sagen Sie bei uns?
Your colleague was asking about the actual situation in Germany focused on the regarding AfD and the situation actually in his home country, Georgia, and the connection to Russia and the actual problems about it. I will start with the first question. The AfD is a result by this society of fairness. And you have this populism, let me say it like this, not only in Germany. It began already much more before in Italy, for example. We have now a completely populistic government from the left wing and the right wing in a combination. And we can see populism all over the world. We have the problem that, and this is also again about marketing, that everyone wants to hear about easy answers by politicians. And people stop to hear about a politician if he's explaining something, if he's starting like, let me focus on one thing, it is complicated. So, the world isn't easy. So, and because of all this interconnection, some things are really difficult. And to transport this difficult situation and transfer it into easy answers, this is also a part of you and together with the politicians. Because of Hendrik, for example, helped me to transform difficulties in easy answers, which means you have a feeling what he wants to express, what he wants to say, not only by words, also by emotionality. But I can be very frankly to one thing. The AfD is a result also by one thing which is missing at the moment. A general trust in a positive development for all the globe, general. And the second thing, we have a society which is the first one which is thinking, okay, it could be that the next generation is not in the situation to have a better world as before. And besides, we never had, for example, in Germany, a situation like this. We never had so much wealth, we never had so less unemployment, etc.
I know.
So this is a total imbalance. And this is what I meant before by 50% of all is psychology. If you lose the people because of this psychological aspect, you lose everything. So, second question. What we see is that many or some, let me say some nations use political ambitions of the 20th century to sink in all structures,
Our labor.
yeah, all structures and so on. And as Germany, as a nation in European Union, we always was focused on one thing. We believe in the independence of the decision of a country in his own future. So, and Georgia is an independent state and should be in the situation also to decide for his future by his own and not be in connection to someone else. But let me also say it like this. What we do not have at the moment, also as Germany, also the European Union, we are strong in economy, but we are not strong to prevent, in a way of like other elements like militaristic things or something like this, a development. Because for this we are not strong enough. And what we also see is at the moment that the United States are not furthermore interested in foreign policy. And so there's an imbalance at the moment all over the world, and everyone can feel this imbalance. And at the same time we have this development in the 21st century, which means we have this globalization and so on. So at the far end, it is very difficult to bring in back lines, also as Germany, if you cannot fulfill after the meaning what it means if you jump over this red line. So, and this is the problem. And we all was integrated in a framework of this Western, let me say Western Union, at the top United States, but at the moment we are in a very mixed situation also because of the United States are very focused. Now what happened? Okay,
Brand creation.
whatever. It's always cliche, politicians talk too much. But the thing is, I believe in European Union, and I do my very best that the European Union and the far end will be strong enough also to focus on red lines, but to give also the guarantee that there will be nothing after. And at the moment there is nothing. So, I'm a little bit surprised.